This is probably the darkest place I've ever been. Right now, I'm standing here completely alone. The air is damp, heavy, and hard to breathe, and I'm trying to record this video for you. Right behind me is a toxic lake. It swallowed an entire village, and no one really knows how dangerous this water is. Geamana village. Sighs. It's hard to talk about this place, especially when you've seen it with your own eyes, and felt how wrong everything here feels. I have to share what I've witnessed, because no one has ever told this story before. So get ready. This is truly an exclusive video. Once, this was a lively village in a beautiful Romanian valley. Geamana was wiped off the map after toxic waste started being dumped here. But from what I've seen, there are still people living here. Maybe 15, maybe 20. Look at the color of this lake. There's no color correction at all. I'll explain why it looks like this in a moment. Until 1977, Geamana was thriving. Over 1,000 people lived here. Everything changed in 1978 when large copper deposits were discovered nearby. Mining began, and with it came tons of toxic waste. To get rid of it, the authorities chose the Geamana Valley. Romania's dictator ordered the residents to leave, and the entire settlement was flooded. Since then, thousands of tons of poisonous sludge have been poured here every day. Now, instead of a village, there's a thick, colorful layer of toxic mud, and only a few rooftops and a lonely church steeple remind us that life once existed here. I can't even imagine what's really in this water. This was a real environmental disaster. Guys, can you believe this is an actual lake? Look at this liquid. The trees and grass here are rotting. The bushes are covered in some kind of strange soot. The air feels heavy, unpleasant, and there's a taste of sulfur in my mouth. There are no insects, no birds, no animals, nothing alive. This place is simply uninhabitable. When I arrived, a storm started. Gray rain began to fall, leaving stains on my clothes. I don't know how harmful it is, but I have to keep filming this video for you. Behind me, there are two half-collapsed buildings. People lived there not long ago. But as the toxic lake kept rising closer and closer, they had to leave. Where to, no one knows. The mine stopped operating about 15 years ago, but some of the pipes still keep dumping waste straight into the lake. The water level rises by about 3 feet every year. People who just a few years ago still lived by the shore have already been forced to leave. The entire village is literally sinking before our eyes. Look at this. In these photos, the church slowly disappears underwater in just 5 years, and by the time I arrived, only the steeple remained. It gives me chills. This is what the village looked like before the disaster. It's hard to believe what it's become now. I think the lake's depth already exceeds 300 feet. Behind me is a house. Maybe someone still lives there? It looks creepy. There are belongings inside, and the door is locked. Look how close it is, just 50 feet from the toxic lake. Maria Prata, one of the 20 residents who still remain here. As the lake rises, people move higher up into the hills. Maria is 70 now. She spent her entire childhood here, in Geamana. She used to sleep in a barn. I was on one side, the cows on the other, she says. She asked me not to film our conversation. It's sad to see all this. It's terrible that because of greed, the villagers lost everything. Their homes, their community, their entire lives. Aside from the gray sludge still flowing from the inactive mines, parts of the lake have turned brick red because of acid drainage from the old tunnels. This often happens with open-pit copper mining. Melted snow and rainwater react with copper oxides and microorganisms, turning the water a blood-red color. I don't know how dangerous it is to even be near this place, but I didn't dare touch the water. On the sandy parts near the lake, stepping too far felt risky. The ground could swallow your feet like a swamp. I didn't take that chance. After driving a few more miles around the lake, I found another grim place, a cemetery. Next to it stand recently abandoned houses, and the lake nearby glows bright blue. Most of the graves are already buried under a thick layer of industrial waste. Villagers were promised their ancestors' graves would be relocated, but that never happened. Guys, this place is haunting. Behind me is a turquoise lake, like something from the Maldives, but under that water lie crosses. Look at this. Once again, under this bright turquoise lake lies a cemetery. Everything is underwater. Can you imagine how many more graves might be down there? This is truly the darkest place I've ever been. Adding to the sense of despair are the abandoned houses, still filled with personal belongings. What's interesting is that the few houses I managed to enter and film, they're the last remaining ones. All the others are either underwater or completely dismantled. Look at the view from this abandoned house. This is the darkest place I've ever been. The weather kept changing. Cold, wet, uncomfortable. But I'm here for you, for this video you're watching right now. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.